Welcome to day 98 of our school year. Let's go ahead and get that filled in. Very close to our 100th day. Okay, let's go ahead and get down our beginning fraction. Our denominator is 180. That's our total amount of school days, and we're on day 98. Okay, so now we're going to find the factors of our numerator. Our numerator is 98. Two factors we always know are 1 and the number itself. Using the commutative property of multiplication, we could do 98 times 1. Now we're going to go through our divisibility rules in an order so that we don't miss any other factors. So in order after 1, we're going to try 2. The rule for 2 is that it ends in an even number. 8 is even, so 2 is a factor. I can't do half of 9 very easily, so I'm going to do half of 8 tens, which is 4 tens. That leaves a 10 and an 8, that's 18. Half of 18 is 9. And then try 3. The rule for 3 is that we add the digits together. 9 plus 8 equals 17. 17 is not a multiple of 3, so 3 is not a factor. We try 4. One way to check for 4 is we look with the second factor with 2. That is odd, so 4 is not a factor. We try 5. The rule for 5 is that it ends in a 0 or 5. It ends in an 8. So 5 is not a factor. We try 6. The rule for 6 is that both 2 and 3 are factors. 2 is, but 3 is not. So 6 is not a factor. We try 7. 7 times 10 is 70. 77, 84, 91, 98. Yes, 7 is a factor. I can get a group of 10 sevens out of 90. That leaves 28. That would be 14. Okay, then we try 8. 8 times 10 is 80. 88, 96, 104. No, 98 is not in that list, so 8 is not a factor. We try 9. The rule for 9 is the same as 3. 9 plus 8 is 17. 17 is not a multiple of 9. So 9 is not a factor. We try 10. The rule for 10 is that it ends in a 0. It ends in an 8, so 10 is not a factor. We try 11. 11 times 8 is 88, then 99. 98 is not in that list, so 11 is not a factor. 12. 12 times 5 is 60, then 72, 84, 96, 108. 98 is not in that list. 12 is not a factor. We try 13. 13, 26, 39, 52, 65, 78, 91, 104. 98 is not in that list, so 13 is not a factor. Then we get to 14, and we're done. Okay, so our factors are 1, 2, 14, 49, 98. We have, I forgot 7. Sorry about that. 7, 14, 49, 98. We have 6 factors. That is more than 2 factors, so it is composite. Now we need to find our greatest common factor between 98 and 180. There are only 82 days left in the unshaded section, so I can't make a group of 98, so I'm going to already cross that one out. So we're going to start with 49. Your groups do not have to look like mine, but make sure there's 49 in each. And you keep your shaded separated from your unshaded. So I have 4 tens and 9 ones. 4 tens plus 1 is 41, plus 8 more is 49. plus 40 is 42, plus 7 is 49. And I have 33 left over, so that means that 49 is not our greatest common factor. Let's try 14. So 10 plus 4 is 14. And then I have 6 plus 8 is 14. 2 plus 10 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 8 plus 6 is 14. 4 plus 10 is 14. 10 plus 4 is 14. 6 plus 8 is 14. 2 plus 10 plus 2 is 14. 8 plus 6 is 14. 4 plus 10 is 14. 10 plus 4 is 14. 6 plus 8 is 14. And I have 12 left over, so that means that 14 is not my greatest common factor. So next I'm going to try 7. So for 7s, I'm going to take each 10 and I'm going to cut off 3. And here I have 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 2 is 7. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 3 is 7. 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 7. Remember to keep that shaded separated from the unshaded, because otherwise we have fractions and fractions. 2 plus 3 plus 2, 1 plus 3 plus 3, 3 plus 3 plus 1, and I have 5 left over. So 7 doesn't work. So let's try 2. Groups of 2 can be easy to make because you can easily see when there's 2 without having to count. Your eyes can recognize up to 3 things without having to stop and count. That's why when we put commas in our numbers, it's always groups of 3. It's easier for our eyes to see. And 2 works. We finally found our greatest common factor. Okay, so now we need to count up our total amount of groups. The way I made my groups, I ended up having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 2 in each row. So I'm going to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90 total groups. I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 shaded in. So I did my division with my model. Now I'm going to divide using my algorithm. 180 divided into groups of 2, and 98 divided into groups of 2. So I know 50 times 2 is 100. Numbers the same, zeros a game, more on top, no need to stop. Numbers the same, zeros a game. 20 times 2 is 40. Numbers the same, zeros a game, more on top, no need to stop. 20 times 2 is 40. Numbers the same, zeros a game. Here I'm going to do 20, or 2 times 20 is 40. More on top, no need to stop. More on top, no need to stop. 20 times 2 is 40. More on top, no need to stop. More on top, no need to stop. And then 9 times 2 is 18. Numbers the same, zeros a game. Okay, we need to add our partial quotients. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 20 plus 20 is 40, plus 9 more is 49. Now we need to check. We have to use our inverse operation. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Now since our remainder is 0 for both, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0 it stays the same, we don't need to actually add 0. 2 groups of 0 is 0. 2 groups of 9 tens is 18 tens. So 18 tens. 2 groups of 9 is 18. Put the tens up here, the ones down here. 2 groups of 4 tens is 8 tens, plus 1 more is 9 tens. 98, that matches our dividend, so that checks. 180, that matches our dividend, so that checks. So our numerator is definitely 49, and our denominator is definitely 90. All right, let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Okay, we are on trimester 2, week 9. We've started the back of the page here, and our date today is 1/27/2020, and our fraction for today is 49/90. All right, we did groups of 2, so let's go ahead and get out our number line. Okay. Our last group of 2 is 47/90. We have 48/90, which is equivalent to 8/15. That's the simplest form, or equivalent fraction in lowest terms. And then we have 49/90. That's our simplest form for today. No lines underneath it, or equivalent fraction in lowest terms. Okay, go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.